In today's review, we'll break down the story, gameplay, graphics, and performance of Desperate Place to see if this desperate fight for survival is worth your time. Desperate Place doesn't bog you down with cutscenes, but it sets the stage effectively. You play as a lone astronaut who awakens from hibernation early after your colonization ship is damaged. Forced to make an emergency landing on an unknown planet, your goal is simple: gather enough helium-3 to repair your ship and escape, all while surviving the planet's hostile wildlife. Every time you bring back the fuel or night falls, waves of alien creatures storm your base, determined to destroy your shuttle. It's a straightforward premise, but it works. I immediately felt the do-or-die stakes. Despite minimal narration, the game nails a tense sci-fi atmosphere. The environment is an eerie alien world crawling with insect-like monsters. Imagine Starship Troopers bug planet vibes. Audio logs or dialogue are sparse to non-existent. Instead, the story is told through the urgency of each day's work and each night's attack. This minimalist storytelling keeps you focused on survival. As I played, I caught myself filling in the blanks. Who is this astronaut? Will anyone rescue me, or am I truly alone in this desperate place? The lack of concrete answers actually reinforces the isolation and suspense. If you're a fan of hybrid gameplay, Desperate Place delivers a unique mix. It's part tower defense, part base building strategy, and part top-down shooter all at once. The core loop will feel familiar to survival fans. You spend the daytime scavenging resources and strengthening your base, and when night hits, you hunker down to fight off relentless waves of enemies. I found this day-night cycle super engaging. It gave me the same adrenaline rush as games like They Are Billions or Thronefall, where you frantically prepare during calm moments and then test your defenses against a horde. Building your base is intuitive but a bit more constrained than in some RTS games. The map provides predetermined construction sites for structures, so you won't be plopping walls or turrets anywhere you please. Instead, the strategy comes from choosing what to build on each site. Do you need a resource extractor, a power generator, or a defense turret at that spot? Managing resources, primarily the helium-3 fuel and other materials, is critical, and you'll constantly strategize how to spend your limited supplies. When night approaches, Desperate Place turns into a frantic tower defense shooter. You control your astronaut from a top-down perspective, and your character auto-fires at the nearest targets while you move around. It reminded me of playing a twin-stick shooter. Dodging and positioning were key, but with the auto-aim handling some of the targeting, I could pay attention to the broader battle. You're both commander and frontline soldier, which keeps the action lively. The defense options are quite varied. By the end of the first map, I had access to simple gun turrets, slowing barriers, and landmine traps. As you progress, you unlock a satisfying arsenal of towers. Expect artillery batteries, laser towers, and missile launchers. Each defense has its own range, damage type, and ideal usage, so placement strategy matters. Enemies get tougher and more diverse as you advance, from skittering little critters to tanky behemoths that can spit projectiles back at your base. One aspect I loved is that any damage to your base is only temporary. If some of your structures get destroyed during the night, they'll be automatically repaired or rebuilt by dawn. This everything resets at morning mechanic means you don't have to spend all your resources fixing walls every day. You can refocus on new upgrades and tactics. In fact, the only way to lose a mission is if the shuttle itself gets taken down. Between nights, you also get chances to upgrade and customize. You can research new tech using resources you collected. There are even multiple astronaut classes you can unlock and play as. These characters, along with robot companions, add replayability. Choosing which gadgets and allies to bring into a mission adds a light tactical layer on top of just towers and guns. Despite the generally solid gameplay, there are a few rough edges. The controls and interface could be smoother. The game has some clunky menu navigation and camera controls that take getting used to. The astronaut moves a tad slowly by default, and the campaign is a bit short and somewhat linear. There are optional difficulty modifiers and multiple characters to unlock, but no endless mode or co-op to keep you hooked long-term. Still, what's here is well-crafted and satisfying. For an indie title, Desperate Place sports an appealing art style. The game uses an isometric 2D perspective, which makes it easy to survey your base and incoming enemies. Visual clarity is excellent. Units and structures have distinct silhouettes and colors. The color palette is a mix of bleak and bright. The planet's surface is desolate and muted, but your defense towers and weapon effects light up the screen. Enemy design is solid, sticking with a creepy crawly alien theme. Fast raptors, bulky rhino beetles, and glowing monstrosities add tension. Lighting is handled well too. Nights are appropriately dark, and often I could only spot enemies by their glowing eyes or shadows moving past my floodlights. The minimalist UI does the job, though it's very basic. I did notice a few typos here and there, but they didn't impact the experience. Desperate Place runs great. On a mid-range PC, I got a steady frame rate even during massive battles. Load times were short, and I encountered no crashes. The system requirements are modest, and the game even supports controllers, which is rare for this genre. The devs have been patching bugs and tweaking balance quickly since launch, which bodes well for its future. The Unity Engine Foundation gives it strong compatibility, and even Steam Deck users should be able to run it without issues. There's not a ton of graphics customization but enough to tweak for performance. All in all, this is a stable, smooth-playing game. Desperate Place is a pleasant surprise that successfully blends base building, strategy, and survival action. The story is minimal but effective, the gameplay loop is satisfying, and the performance is solid. It's the kind of game that hooks you in for 10 to 15 hours of fun and then leaves you hoping the developers expand it further. Right now, I'd give Desperate Place a 7 out of 10. It's a strong foundation with enjoyable gameplay, especially for fans of survival strategy or tower defense who want something fresh. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to GameVault HQ for more reviews and gaming content.